Let's get it cracking, man. We got a lot to talk about. Breaking news today.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. If you haven't heard this, get your Jell-O pudding pops and climb up out of the rock. Breaking news. Bill Cosby is a free man, Lord Jamar. Word.
Say word.
Word. After 2 years, the Pennsylvania courts let him out today off of a technicality that they're saying had nothing to do with the case. So Bill Cosby is home as we speak. They just released the video footage with him coming out of a SUV, and they were escorting him back into his home where he met his wife.
Thank you, Del Monte Green Beans. He said
Word.
you can eat gold and silver. A can of sweet corn will be worth more if this BS starts. Well, I didn't say you could eat gold or silver. I just said gold or silver was better than fiat currency. But yes, if we can grow our own foods and all that, yes, that's much more valuable probably than gold and silver. Continue.
Yeah, so he's at home now. He's a free man. He got let out today based off of a technicality.
Do we know what the technicality was?
Yes, the technicality was when
that
he
they
had
were
made
lying. that they were lying on his fucking ass.
They got 2 years out of him, you see, and then let him out on a technicality. But what happened was the courts in Pennsylvania ruled that it was extreme prejudice. It was a couple of things, extreme prejudice, that they added 5 more witnesses, 5 more women.
Talk to me. To
testify the same exact story that the main woman was accusing him on. So in other words, they said extreme prejudice. They weren't supposed to add 5 more women to basically rehash the same story. So that was grounds for extreme prejudice.
Go ahead, continue.
They also said that the other technicality was, now I found this interesting. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Bill Cosby had made a deal with a previous prosecuting attorney to where he gave information about what he had done to the women, but they promised him that that would not be used in a court of law against him. So he made some statements that perjured himself, and the Pennsylvania court said that the agreement between him and the first prosecuting attorney was broken. And the second prosecuting attorney.
So they out here breaking treaties again.
Yes.
They made a treaty with the original man, Bill Cosby, of which they broke the treaty, and now they got caught breaking the treaty. Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely correct. So he made a deal. He made a deal with the initial prosecuting attorney, and I guess that prosecuting attorney left for whatever reason. And the deal was, Bill Cosby, this information that you're giving us about what you did to the women, we're not going to use this against you in the court of law. Well, when the second prosecuting attorney came, they did the exact opposite. And the courts ruled that they broke their agreement with Mr. Bill Cosby. And based upon those 2 technicalities, he's a free man.
Okay, well, you know, it's funny that you say adding on the 5 extra females and all of that type of shit, right? What about adding on the whole societal bullshit that he had to deal with at the time of the Me Too movement and all of that? Like, they pulled him into all of this Me Too shit that was going on at the time. So it was more than just those females that were added to his court case. You see what I'm saying? They tried to slay him in the court of public opinion, to where any Me Too person at the time was supposed to be believed and all this fucking shit. And now here we go, you know, fast forward.
After 2 years.
Right. After 2 years of having how old is this man? 80 something years old?
I believe 87.
80s putting an 87-year-old man in the fucking clink.
Oh, my bad. 88, 88. We got to add another year.
88-year-old man, put him in the clink for some shit that happened 40 years ago. Like, really?
Right.
Like, y'all put him in jail? Y'all couldn't give him a nice fine and all this type of shit? Like something? Like y'all had to fucking humiliate this man, wear at his health. Yeah, they hoped he was gonna die in there. That's what the fuck they hoped was gonna happen. But this motherfucker fucked around and lived.
Let me ask your opinion on this, okay? So they let a lot of these healthy, we're going to assume healthy, way younger inmates out, okay? Some notable ones, some young rappers like Snitch 9, 6ix9ine, and other rappers, they let them out because of Corona. You would have thought that Bill Cosby is probably immunocompromised, but they didn't let him out.
Right. Well, to me, this is also an example of, how the truth can be swayed depending on popular opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like yesterday, he was the worst motherfucker in the world because y'all supposedly, had evidence that blah, 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 blah. Now, today, more knowledge comes out where it's revealed that, oh, you weren't supposed to fucking send this man to jail. And that wasn't true, whatever the fuck y'all was saying. So to me, it just shows how wishy-washy the so-called truth is. Because today the truth is he's innocent, right? Yesterday, just yesterday, he was guilty and he had to be incarcerated. Today, I don't give a fuck what you say, technicalities. He's innocent. He's a free man, right?
Well, he is a free man, but however, the prosecuting attorneys are standing by that this has nothing to do with the case itself, and three of the victims
can eat a dick.
3 of the victims have already came out and made statements against Mr. Bill Cosby, saying that they still feel he is a very dangerous man.
Come on. Do they really think he's a dangerous man at 88 years old? Like, come on, seriously?
They said Mr. Bill Cosby is still a dangerous man to society, and it's so a sad
be out here pilling broads up at 88 years old. Like, come on. Like, does this dick even work? Like, still, like, come on, knock it off. All I'm saying is, right? To me, he's free. So let's clap it up for that. Because ain't no 80s. Even if he was guilty, right? He didn't need to be going into jail. If you didn't catch him back then, okay? If you ain't catch him back then, you don't need to be trying to send him to jail now for some shit he did fucking years ago. I could see you some sort of civil suit or something like that.
So are you saying
on precious metals? But what happened to the Weinstein sewer matter that disappeared? I don't know.
Are you saying at this point? Because I was discussing this earlier. So would you agree, Lord Jamar, at this point, whether he did it or not, this happened 30 years ago, and nobody was in the room. They didn't have any evidence. 40 years ago, none of us was in the room. Okay, none of us was in the room, so we don't know if it happened or it didn't happen. So would you agree, Lord Jamar, that at this point, whether he did it or if he didn't, let's just say he did do it, you might as well just let God handle him, right? Because of his age. Why put him in the clinker?
Yeah, let the universe, whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, fucking just if y'all, you know what I mean? First of all, if some shit's gonna happen, y'all better fucking pursue these motherfuckers at the time, man. Don't be waiting fucking 30, 40 years and then try to come out. Like, that shit just looks mad shady to me. Like, if the shit happens, you need to be reporting that shit a couple hours later. You know what I mean? Like, yo, a couple hours ago, I got fucking molested by this motherfucker. Or even if it was a couple days or even a week, but come on, years, stop it. Stop it. It's just, anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. To me, I'm just trying to show how motherfuckers can portray something to be one way and then we find out it's true later. Like, just for instance, you know, they could say that, you know, there was some sort of deadly infection going around. Do this and do that so you don't get it. And then later you find out, later on that gets overturned. You see what I'm saying? And now the truth is not the truth anymore. The truth that you swore by is not the truth anymore because somebody made a decision that wasn't you. And so now y'all happy. Basically, that the slave master let him free. But they're gonna let you know who has the power. And they don't give a fuck how much money you have. They don't give a fuck how old you are. If you black and you did some shit, you know what I mean? They want to get at you. They will make an example.
Lord Jamar, think about the repercussions, okay? The precedent that this would have sent against Mr. Bill Cosby against the average common man. So Bill Cosby had popularity, influence, wealth. He was a celebrity. And if they did this to him, the he say, she say, what would happen to the average man?
This is what I'm saying. If he's not safe, no one is safe. And that's the message. That's the message they're trying to convey. Like, listen, we'll take your biggest nigga out there. We'll take your biggest nigga and whittle him down to size. Don't you fucking niggas think that you fucking, you know what I mean, can escape the power of God? Because that's what they want you to feel, like that they're God. You know what I mean? And that they have godly powers over your life.
And I wonder what kind of retribution they're going to give. They took away 2 years of his life. And that's it? Just we take 2 years and we'll let you go.
And see, an agreement was made. According to what you said, an agreement was made where this should have never happened. Like, but again, look at how these people are, you know, they famous for breaking their agreements and shit like that. They're famous for not keeping their word.
Lord Jamar, do you remember when he was trying to purchase a network, a huge major network?
Well, that's what they say. He was trying to purchase NBC, and they're saying it's part of that. This is part of the retribution of him daring to think that he can be so big as to purchase a major network.
Yeah. The thing that was very odd about the Bill Cosby case was there was no evidence, there was no proof because it happened 40 years ago. This is strictly one person's word against another person's word.
Right.
It's getting spooky out here, Lord Jamar. Well, salute to Bill Cosby. He's now a free man.